so we've got episode 2 of our MK8 Golf R in-house car project. Episode 1, if you missed it, was getting the car on the dyno, seeing how much power it really makes, and obviously that surprised quite a few people. But today, obviously episode 2, we're at Brands Hatch race circuit, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be seeing what the car is like on track, seeing how we might want to develop it, obviously weaknesses, like areas for improvement and stuff like that. Actually joined here today with my brother, who's got a ton more track driving experience than myself, various different cars, different circuits, stuff like that. So experience at your big age would be well appreciated.
That was almost a kind intro, almost, just failed to get it last bit.
Had to get it in there. So yeah, we also haven't done an introduction of the car. Obviously no one really knows what spec it is, all that kind of stuff. So obviously episode 2, rather than getting to like episode 10 and then introducing the car, we're going to go through a lot of things, so just do it
First
now.
time I've seen it as well, so I need to know about it before I
So obviously MK8 Golf R, the latest model, so it's got a little bit more power than the Mark 7.5 that it replaces. Obviously on our dyno it's got a lot more power, so it's running about 340 horsepower. So it's got the Gen 4 EA 888 engine, and it looks very, very similar to everything else. I mean, you've got this squidgy little engine cover here.
No logo.
No logo at all. It's evaporated. Economies of scale, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, the engine bay looks very similar. I mean, the turbo, it's a different turbo that's on this car. The ECU is locked as well, so it's not tunable at the moment, but the same thing happens every single time a new car comes out, it's locked. No one can tune it, and then all of a sudden we will be able to. But I mean, yeah, the car's making 340 horsepower, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what it makes once we tune it. Obviously, the front end.
What mods are available at the moment?
So on the MK8 Golf R, you've got like some intakes that are starting to come out of the market. Like you've got like, the racing line R600, which can be adapted to fit this car, but they are doing a full intake to go on there. The intake hose is slightly different. It's the same. Catbacks, obviously you've got like Miltech, stuff like that. So yeah, obviously front end of the car has changed quite a bit. Got the new lights, got the new grills. It's still got the 3 radiators and sensor, one on the 2 sides. We've gone for spec-wise. We've got the standard 18-inch wheels. Obviously, eventually we're probably going to be upgrading the wheels and tyres anyway. So we're going to go for sort of like the higher spec tyres.
18's better track tyres anyway.
Exactly, a little bit more tyre choice. So when we do go for a tyre and combo, it'll be 18, it'll be like that. So brakes-wise, we've got a 2-piece disc, so it's got like the semi-floating arrangement in the centre, obviously drilled and grooved as well, so hopefully that should help out on track. The Mark 7 came with plain discs, and when you take them out on one track day, how that disintegrates, and then so does the disc as well.
It's a bit of a TTRS, RS3 kind of.
Exactly, yeah, so from sort of like the Autosport Golf.
Okay,
Kind of a spec on that.
Got it. A 225 all round, so
yeah.
loads of tyres.
Yeah. So we're going to do something special with the wheels and tyres. Obviously you've got it in blue, there's only 3 colours available. You've got white, you've got black, you've got blue. Obviously blue is the fastest colour, so we've got it in that.
White's the fastest colour.
And then before we go to the interior, at the rear, we haven't gone for that crap age exhaust. I do wish I did order it, but I mean, it's got an exhaust on it, it works, who cares? We're going to be breaking it at a certain point. The thing that we really don't want from this car is to make it too loud and then not be able to use it on track. So we should be really careful with the choice of exhaust that we go for.
You had no problem with noise system at all, did you?
No.
Straight through.
It was like 65 decibels, which is like perfect. So yeah, and then obviously these cars are only available 5-door, no 3-door option. Is that right? Yeah, no. The thing I can't get over on this car though is the interior. So this kind of like material here absolutely grosses me out. So those seats,
I don't disagree with you, I like it.
Okay, I mean you can put the seats in your Mark II if you want.
A bit heavy.
So those be going, I mean they work their seats, who cares really.
So I noticed first thing, there's no rotary dial for the headlights, it's all, everything's in a push button.
Yeah, so if we jump inside the car, run through it quick. So I mean inside the car, we'll just start it up quick as well. So basically, on the previous car you'd have like traction control, your mode switches, stuff like that, that's all gone.
Yeah.
Obviously you have your switches on the right hand side, this has all gone to like touching buttons. The weird thing about this car is obviously, like I said, everything is through here. So say for example if you want to turn ESC off.
That feels kind of Like a Porsche, but not like a stubby, smaller
It's
Porsche
nice.
sort of thing.
It takes a little bit of getting used to, especially when you're like trying to reverse it quickly.
I feel like I'm going to be
things
freaked
that.
out a little bit getting into this.
So
setting up.
It's like when you go out on track, it's quite easy to have sort of like an accident, I feel, because to turn the ESC off and stuff, you have to go through this really slow menu to the brakes, and then you can go ESC Sport or
So
ESC off.
is that a mode button that's relevant to driving?
Yeah, so this is for your Comfort, Sport, Race, Individual. Individual you can set up with various different things. So you've got like your steering, engine sound. Cool thing about this car is that you can switch the engine sound to pure, so you don't get any of the piped in sound. Remember the Mark 7 sounded like a Subaru?
Yeah.
This does it, even when you've got the engine sound on race, it doesn't have that boxer sound. It's a little bit more interesting. Obviously the steering weight when this is in race.
Electric steering.
Electric steering, yeah.
Adaptive dampers.
This car hasn't got adaptive dampers,
Okay.
so we didn't spec that because we're obviously going to at some point upgrade the coilovers.
Yeah.
But I mean, the suspension wise on this, it feels like it's a step up from the Mark 7.
What's the steering like with the electric?
I haven't really tried it, but I mean, Mark
Yeah.
7 7.5 was vague as hell anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you're like this, seeing if it any
Interesting,
feedback.
bit of fake carbon.
Yeah, exactly. So then going back through here, obviously you've got like all the different assists and stuff in this car as well. So if you're going on track, 100% you want to pay attention to the ESC. Maybe not turn it off. I'm not going to recommend anyone to turn it off just in case they die.
You'll see later on in the video Ash is backwards spiralling down the
Exactly.
paddock hill.
So you've got like all the front emergency assist braking. So if you've got some dude that just goes crazy with the brakes in front of you, you want to turn
you
this
turn
off.
all of that off,
Yeah,
otherwise
so
you're just going to bring the brakes in if you're behind someone.
exactly, yeah. You want to turn the lane assist off. The lane assist is the thing I hate the most about this car.
Yeah.
So when you start it up, it's always on. As far as I'm aware, you can't turn it off. So if you're driving down the road, it'll just be like...
And you don't really want the steering wheel vibration on circuit. There's enough going on as it is.
Obviously, you've got like the lane changing system, so the lights come on in the mirrors, pretty cool. Probably not going to help today. So
the main headlines are the braking system. What's it called?
ACC.
So turn ACC off.
Yeah, turn that off.
You can change the
ESC to sport
what you want
off.
And you can change the steering to race or to comfort.
Exactly, yeah. Obviously in this car, like you've got all the infotainment systems, so you've got all, like the Apple CarPlay.
I'm guessing races are just a little bit more heavy.
Heavy weight, yeah. So if you're driving around town, you won't want it because it's like really, it's like you're at like 10 mile an hour.
Yeah, we'll see
Pushing
which one's the best one. Because sometimes the race ones are more for like the feel of being racy rather than actually.
Just
better.
like when people put like race suspension on cars and then it drives terribly, bouncing around, is not particularly fast. You've got
That's cool.
Electric charger down here.
You got a little Golf logo in there.
Yeah. So that's all nice.
Sweet.
I'll just go. It's pretty much everything. So I think the next thing is just get the car out on track, we'll give it a whirl,
Absolutely.
see what it's like.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the other thing you can do with this car as well, if you really wanted to, is you can set the mood. So
you got to do change it to white because white's fast.
So we're going to go for a bit of desire today. I feel. We're going to track it in desire.
Yeah, what's that? Eternity.
Yeah, you want a bit of eternity?
A bit of Tiffany.
Oh god,
Tiffany
what is that?
branding there.
Euphoria, wow.
Virality.
You use some virality?
Vitality.
Oh, vitality.
turn the steering wheel in even further. Hairpin on the top of the hill. You can tell it's heavy. Graham Hill bend. Tell you what, it's pretty cool. Obviously the 7 before was big turbo, whole CSF cooling pack on it, had a lot more grunt. Also the wave track diff makes a difference. It's a little bit, I don't know, this car's pretty good considering it's completely stock. I will, give full disclosure, I'm not exactly a seasoned road tester, but I can give you my opinion as to what I think. Doesn't mean I'm particularly quick. Tell you what, the new four-wheel drive is a lot more, like it allows you to turn in a lot more. You've got a lot more grip. I don't know what the rear Haldex is doing, but Ash is telling me it's got 2 Haldex controllers. So whether they disengage the rear axle and allow you to turn in or not, but that feels so much better than the 7. Like it. Right, let's try and go a bit quicker. Race mode, but I think the ESC's kicking in. I'm going to get too distracted punching around on the screen, but the computer's definitely giving me some screams.
Way better than the 7. Yeah. Miles better. Like in stock form, not obviously after you develop the 7, it's really good. Standard for standard. That is like years ahead of the 7.
Yeah. Brakes, power, handling.
Didn't have any issues with brakes, although they're obviously the back's blue. I think that's with the stability control. Like you go into paddock, the nose pitches in. Like you go in on the brakes, the nose pitches in. You think, great, I'm gonna have the right sort of line through this corner, and then the ESP just sort of straight into the car.
It's like you're having a car crash.
So and yeah, the collision control came in. It was rear collision control, and I thought, I don't know why I got
Going
this
too
off.
slow. I always see people can't.
There's no one behind me.
So yeah, I mean, obviously you need more time to turn ESC off completely.
I'd like to turn everything off and just see. Probably Brands isn't the track for it, but Donington would be great.
Yeah, because you can take a lot of speed. Like even through that back section, like entering at like 100 plus.
Felt like you get loads of squeal, loads of noise, but then if you just turn through it, it actually has more grip than you expect. Yeah. You was sort of like hearing the noise come on, trying to balance it sort of on, off and on grip, but really, I don't know whether it's tires or what. If you just drive through it, just turn the wheel, it squeals a bit, goes away, and you go.
Obviously you're going to massacre the tires.
It seems to be too bad.
Yeah.
There's something funky going on with the back end of this car, because you can feel it almost disengage and allow you to turn in, and then as you get back on the throttle, sort of squats again.
It's weird because you think you actually can't take anywhere near as much speed through a corner than you actually can on it.
It's way better than I thought it was,
I thought it was going to be toilet and it was going to be like this needs to be improved, this needs to be improved, this needs to be improved, just throw parts in, but it's going to be a case of carefully selecting what to put on it to not make it a worse car, because I think it'd be easy to throw parts in.
I think the worst thing you could do is just make it have loads of grip, loads of brakes, and then it would just be numb. At the moment, it does move around, and it is really fun.
Way more fun in this than I ever thought I would do.
Yeah, and we're amateur drivers, like, you know, you still want to be able to come to track day.
Speak for yourself.
But like, we're not really about, we want to go quickly, but it's not about the opposite lap time, because if the car's moving around and stuff, you're having a great time.
You're right, like, you don't actually feel exhausted driving it. Like, obviously I drove that for like 5 laps, and it feels like I don't know, it feels like we're through a war zone or something. Yeah, exactly. Whereas like this was nice, like climate control on.
Aircon's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, the steering was better than I thought. I didn't even really notice it.
Way better than the Mark 7.
I didn't comment on it when I was driving around because it didn't even come into, you know, like my mind when I was driving around. It just felt completely normal. You feel what the car was doing. It's pretty good. Yeah.
So I mean, it's fast.
Thumbs up for the Mark 8, yeah.
Need to do another track day, turn everything off, and a track we know as well, because obviously I don't know the circuit. It's not one that we've done like 10 times a year or something.
It's a difficult circuit for a heavy car, I think, as well, because you've got lots of like transitions, like, yeah. Good though.
Confidence inspiring is the word. They've done a good job.
I really enjoyed it, which is the main thing.
Not something you usually say about a Golf R.
Didn't struggle, like it was. There's a lot of track cars here, there's loads of M2s, M3s, loads of like really fast, bricky cars, and it wasn't struggling to keep up with anyone at all.
Yeah, 100%. So, and then you get to drive home, AC on.
Well, you do, I don't.
Yeah. Sit on the M25. So yeah, I guess we'll do like a full debrief, maybe like a blog post or something like that. Debrief on this, and then let you guys know where we're going to go from here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch other videos of ours that YouTube thinks you'll like, then click up here. If you'd like to watch some other videos that we have in the same playlist, then click here. And obviously if you enjoyed the video, then we really appreciate if you gave us a subscription. And then obviously you'll be updated when other videos of ours go live, and you can do that quite easily by clicking here. Hope to see you soon.